The importance of forging the right synergies and partnership towards the achievement of NITDA's mandate cannot be overemphasized. Such partnerships, according to the agency's Director General, Dr. Isa Ali Pantami, are critical for Nigeria to leapfrog digital opportunities for social economic growth. I am Danjuma Safia, and on that note, I welcome you to the show, NITDA Impact. NITDA's mandate is to create a framework for the planning, research, development, standardization, application, coordination, monitoring, evaluation, and regulation of information technology practices in Nigeria. The importance of forging the right synergies and partnership towards the achievement of NITDA's mandate cannot be overemphasized. Such partnerships, according to the agency's Director General, Dr. Isa Ali Pantami, are critical for Nigeria to leapfrog digital opportunities for social economic growth. I am Danjuma Safia, and on that note, I welcome you to the show, NITDA Impact. If you're just joining us, you're welcome to NITDA Impact, a program designed to inform and educate you on the issues and development in digital and innovation ecosystem under the watch of NITDA. On the show this week, NITDA says technology will remain at the heart of driving and building a digital economy which will bring economic priorities to fusion. According to Dr. Isa Ali Pantami, the Nigerian government priorities include anti-corruption drive, security, private sector-led economic growth, job creation, youth training, and skills development. He revealed these at a meeting with Microsoft in Lagos.
In addition, we also appreciate what Microsoft has been doing in this country when it comes to capacity building, organizing training for our youths in the country, and even now I saw some here. I don't think they are staff of Microsoft.
No,
this is an example. As I said earlier, when Microsoft visited me, I think the first time in my office, I said maybe we need to diversify the program because most of them are centered around Lagos. No question about this. Lagos is the IT hub of Nigeria. No question about this, but there are other parts of the country that need to benefit from it. The more we center it in only one place, we are creating more and more gap with other parts of the country. Whatever is being done here in Lagos, we appreciate it, and it's part of Nigeria, and we are glad. But we will appreciate if that training, capacity building could be extended to other places like Southeast, Southwest, Northeast, Northwest, North Central. My sister is from Plateau State. The first time she visited me, the question I asked, did you ever have any training in Plateau? She said no. Plateau is trying to become like the IT hub of northern Nigeria. So I think we need to extend such kind of trainings and capacity building to other places, which I think will help in trying to bridge the gap and carry other places on board. However, being the office is here, if you centralize more here or most of the training here, there is no objection, which I think is very okay. It will save cost for you than organizing somewhere, but we will be glad maybe if that can be extended to other places to benefit, because if you go to any state, for sure you will see the product of Microsoft. They patronize, and I think they deserve this kindness to be extended to them. In addition, we started discussing with some of your staff, even before you came, about building our cloud capabilities in Nigeria. However, we are of the view that cloud and data centers can work together. We don't need to shut down one before we use the other one. Sometimes there are things you can do as even backup, and we have their all advantages and disadvantages, so they can complement each other. I believe we started discussing with them about how to build our cloud capabilities. And as we all know, with all frankness, we have been promoting Nigerian content. but we are very kind to Microsoft. Firstly, we have Microsoft Nigeria. Secondly, Microsoft, according to me, has already domesticated its product by employing many more Nigerians to serve here, which this is what we are agitating. Whenever we talk of local content, we are at least presenting that to see that many more Nigerians benefit. So by implication, Microsoft is kind to us. Many Nigerians are benefiting. So if one Nigerian is employed by Microsoft, I feel very much happy, because I'm glad that at least they do justice to us. And that is what we have been agitating. So we'll make sure that even if we are promoting national content, the interests of multinationals, particularly those that are kind to us, must be protected.
While reiterating the collaboration with NITDA, General Manager Microsoft Nigeria, Akim Banuso, said Microsoft is happy to partner with NITDA.
Training. Yes, we have some capacity here. Obviously, we are centrally located in Lagos at the moment, but if at some point you are thinking of expanding or doing something somewhere in other geos in Nigeria, we can partner together to provide you with, the expertise, or send people in and provide certain materials, because this is what we already do this on our own. So we partner with certain NGOs already to do this, but it will be even more powerful if we can partner with NITDA on this.
Exactly.
So if you are, because I heard of at some point that NITDA had been thinking of doing like an IT city or some kind of tech park, yes, an IT park at some. We would love to participate and contribute our quota, because, as the lady in that video was saying, when I loved what she said, that, when she learned about technology, even though she was living in a slum, she was able to learn that the only use of technology was not for scamming or, doing you could use it to empower and uplift yourself.
The need to catch them young and develop the necessary computer programming language and skills among students in secondary schools in Nigeria has again been stressed. In order to achieve this, software giants Microsoft Nigeria, in partnership with the Future Project and the Zaria Elizabeth Foundation, has set up in motion a project aimed at empowering 6,000 public school students in Abuja, in the Nigerian capital, with basic skills in Kudu, Minecraft, HTML, and CSS. The initiative took off during the week at the Federal Government Boys College, Akpo Kudu, in Abuja. As part of NITDA's mandate in human capital development, programs such as the Code 2 Create initiative would also provide job opportunities for the nation's teeming youth. The program coordinator, Akindayo Akindolani, stated that learning programming skills would benefit children in multiple ways, irrespective of their career focus, adding that the major objective is towards building the next set of developers that will eventually emerge as the next Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, that Nigeria and Africa will be proud of. Citizenship Manager, Microsoft Nigeria, Olushola Amuson, said Microsoft believes if the company can inspire, enable, and provide a conducive environment through digital literacy and coding skills, we are securing the nation's future. The initiative, which is part of a larger campaign to get 1 million fingers coding, has been dubbed Code 2 Create and intend to train 600 students in 10 schools across the Federal Capital Territory. This, according to the organizer, is to develop digitally literate leaders of the future, limitless opportunities.
Before we take the questions for this week, here are the answers for last week. The first question: what is the full meaning of CPR, which is one of the departments at NITDA? And here is the answer. The full meaning of CPR is Corporate Planning and Research, a department in NITDA headed by Dr. Collins Ago. I repeat, Corporate Planning and Research, a department in NITDA headed by Dr. Collins Ago. And number 2 question: who is the current chairman of the Senate Committee on ICT? The correct answer for that is Senator Abdul Fattah Buhari, representing Oyo North Senatorial District. Now to the question of the week. Number 1, which year was NITDA bill passed into law? Which year was NITDA bill passed into law? Number 2, what is the meaning of CERRT? What is the meaning of CERRT? You can kindly send your responses to info@nitda.gov.ng. Send your responses to info@nitda.gov.ng. Let's take you through our mails for the week for your questions. We have Jamil Abdulrazak from Getty, Kano State. He is asking, please, what are the criteria for applying for the NITDA scholarship? He says, I have a second-class upper degree in electrical electronics engineering from the Bayero University, Kano, and want to specialize in system network engineering. Please, am I qualified to apply? Jamil Abdulrazak from Getty is asking NITDA if he is qualified to apply for their scholarship. Number 2, Kolawole Adewale from Kaba in Kogi State writes in, some of us youth in my community like to undertake trainings in software application development, coding and system networking. How can we access NITDA ICT centers and facilities? Kola Adewale from Kaba in Kogi State is asking how he can access NITDA ICT centers and facility there in Kaba, Kogi State, I guess. Thank you very much for sending in those mails. And for your inquiries and questions on the activities on NITDA, please send your mails to us on info@nitda.gov.ng. info@nitda.gov.ng. This is NITDA Impact, your leading ICT television show meant to educate and inform you on IT trends and NITDA's initiatives. NITDA has urged ministries, departments and agencies, MDAs, as well as private sectors organizations on the need to patronize Nigerian data centers. NITDA, however, expressed dismay to note the current practices of both public and private sector organizations hosting data offshore, despite having highly reliable Tier 3 data centers.
Please, we are going to make a presentation during one of our sessions I think it's very important this one, so that we can get more publicity for the data center already. I think we are still working on the data protection policy. Yes. If we finish the draft, we will make sure that you are part and parcel of a committee that is reviewing it, because the data protection policy is very important. So we are trying to have it in place, and we need to have meeting with stakeholders after the draft is ready. Yes. And I believe we have your input. And in addition, I'm most appreciative of what I have seen here. This is a critical national infrastructure that we are all proud of. I was in Redmond a few months ago, Microsoft Data Center. To be fair, I did not see anything there which I have not seen here. That is the reality. So if you are within the building, you feel like you're not in Nigeria, just like you're in Europe or North America.
That was Dr. Isa Ali Pantami speaking on the need to fully domesticate the hosting of data in Nigeria, as stated in the Section 14, subsection 3 of the guidelines. The agency is working with local data hosting firms to set appropriate service leveling requirements and standards for data service provisioning.
So usually when you are collecting data, you always try to avoid bias. Sometimes if you are all out to say your achievements, that could temper with your humility. And if you remain silent without exposing some, then by implication you are undermining your achievement. So sometimes I always admire and appreciate when other people that know the sector very well and know my activities very well assess me, and at the same time appreciate where we go well, and also criticize us constructively on how to improve. Before I speak on that, I begin by making reference to a certificate given to us by the Vice President recently in the banquet hall. He gave a certificate of a commendation to certain agencies. I am glad to say that NITDA was among the agencies that the Vice President personally signed a certificate and handed over to us for the commendation, which I think says a lot about what we have been doing. A professor, the second citizen of the country, someone who knows law very well and who is passionate about the country, can commend you by presenting a certificate to you is a clear indication that no, whatever you do, at least it has been appreciated by those that appointed you. Secondly, the president of the country, President Muhammad Buhari, GCFR, was in Nigeria in November. If you go through his speech, some of the things he said are very clear, that he commended the effort of NITDA's management for what the agency has been doing of recent, particularly in IT clearance. Within the year, within only 1 year, he clearly stated what the agency has achieved was a lot. And in that regard, I can tell you, through the clearance, IT clearance for MDS, so far, if you are to just capture the figures we review, and before we approve, the agency saved not less than 9 billion naira. Not to talk about the technical value we added, not to talk about the supervision we are doing for the ongoing projects. All these are for free. No money is being paid to us besides government paying our salary. You cannot quantify this because most of the approval we give, we ensure that we follow the execution from A to Z, particularly any project that we consider is very dear to the nation, and the amount of money to be committed is a huge one, and the project is strategic. We try to see that we monitor the implementation. So this is something that is difficult to quantify, but the amount of money to be quantified for sure, the amount saved, by if you at least sum it all, it could not be less than 9 to 10 billion naira so far. Because I can recall in only one project in oil sector, we saved 3.2 billion naira in only one project through clearance. If we were not able to review it critically and save that money, for sure that amount will have gone. So I think this is a clear indication that the two gentlemen, number one and the second citizen of the country, first and second, have appreciated what the agency has been doing, and they commended our effort. We, with all sense of responsibility, we are most appreciative of their commendation, and we consider it as a motivation to do more and more. And secondly, And superficially as well, the agency, within the time I have spent here, which is roughly around 18 months now, I can clearly say a lot has been achieved. Firstly, when I came on board, with the support of my management team and other stakeholders, we came up with 9 strategic pillars. One is digital inclusion. In digital inclusion, it's all about intervention, providing access to ICT. We established 86 digital capacity building centers all over the country so far. We provided wide area network, 3 so far and 3 are ongoing, which each are, the wide area network is over 100 million naira each. We also provided virtual libraries, 3 last year, and currently, as part of 2017, we have 3 ongoing projects in that regard. And currently, within 2018, as part of 2017 project, we have 80 digital job creation centers that are ongoing all over the country. So you have 86 digital capacity building centers, 6 wide area network completed and ongoing, and you have 6 virtual libraries ongoing and completed, and you have 80 wide digital job creation centers ongoing, and each and every one is packaged with e-learning facilities. This as part of our digital inclusion. And at least superficially, this is what we have been doing. And there are many centers that were down. As part of the intervention, we try to see that we renovate them, we upgrade their system where that is necessary. Secondly, in terms of IT regulation, I think the agency has been doing wonderfully well based on what stakeholders that are very fair to us have been saying. Since the establishment of the agency, there was no time that the agency focuses more on regulation more than now, because the responsibility of the agency can be summarized into 2, IT development and IT regulation. This is what the agency has been doing now very well. An example of that, when the issue of WannaCry came up, you know, the agency was the first one to even alert Nigerians, and that salvaged the situation. We went to the extent of contacting Microsoft through Nigeria office. They sent the patches to us. We conveyed all the patches to relevant MDAs secretly, and they updated their systems over the weekend. And with this, I think it helped a lot in reducing the casualties of the negative impact of the attack on our country. And we try to sensitize. And part of cybersecurity, we have international collaboration with many cybersecurity centers globally. In the North America, in the South America, in Asia, we are in touch. When there is any potential alert, attack, they notify us, and we ensure that our SAT team is ready, and we notify relevant agencies, some confidentially, some through public. So now we have a cybersecurity department. Under that department, we have computer emergency response and readiness team. And that team monitors all potential attacks 24 hours, 24/7. When there is any attack, we notify relevant agencies and advise them on how to handle the challenge. So our SAT, I think for now, is a development. Through our IT clearance, we try to enforce local content because of Executive Order 003 and Presidential Order 005. So our surveillance team goes out, monitors ongoing projects. We call them to order. We always give them directives that low indigenous content must be respected. And that is why even now, however, some of them breach our act, and we reported them to relevant authorities. Like recently, some were even detained by EFCC because they ignored our directives. And we have a standing team with EFCC. When there is any breach of IT project, we notify them officially, and they come on board and see how they can intervene.
This is the size of the show for the week. For further details, please send us email on info@nitda.gov.ng. See you next week. And until then, I remain Safia Danjuma. Bye for now.